Saint Gregory the Great was a pope in the latter half of the 6th century into the 7th century. He was originally a administrator in Rome who became a deacon, and then when the Pope died, became Pope. And he was very instrumental during that time period of governing the church and governing Rome at a time when the civil government was declining, the military was declining, and at a period during the plague. But what I think he's really known for is his leadership. He was able to navigate Rome during this very, very difficult time. And he also had a very pastoral approach. Most of his homilies are very pastoral, and you can find information on them. And so it is a very interesting study of pastoral leadership. He's one of my favorite saints, Pope St. Gregory the Great, as well as two other well-known saints, St. Stephen, who was the first martyr, as well as St. Lawrence, who was martyred in the 3rd century. Deacon Ray, do you have any interesting saints that you like, either deacons or non-deacons?
Certainly. I think of the communion of saints, and I think of those deacons that I'm familiar with, at least in the Archdiocese of New Orleans, that preceded me. The first group of those men were ordained in 1974, and we stand on their shoulders. And those men and those that have followed, and even up until this day, in serving the church, I look around and I see men and their spouses, their wives, who are very saintly women. I look around, I see the communion of saints here on earth. And I look back at those who have gone before us in awe and in fear and trembling. Can I live up to that? Can I be what they were in terms of being a deacon? And so that whole collection, right, that cloud of witness is been very influential in my life. And then, of course, in our modern age, the person that I've been drawn to the most is because of her deep commitment and her sense of dry humor and my way of seeing her. You would never think that, but I just think that her answers to people always kind of, like Christ, pull out of somebody something that they didn't realize was there. And that would be Mother Teresa. What an awesome person to walk away from everything she did as a young sister, go through the troubles and the trials in a place that Catholicism and Christianity didn't have a real root in the strictest sense of the word, but she made a place for Christ and his church. And the hopeful part of it, the funny part of it, I'm always looking for God's humor in things, right? And there was a reporter from London, from Britain, who went to visit with her, and it's my understanding that when she was busy doing things, she wasn't going to stop just because somebody wanted to talk to her. And so this person, was there for a few days, and then finally she took him with her. And this happened 3 or 4 days in a row, and they'd come back with the people who were sick and dying, literally sick and dying. And after a few days, I guess he figured, well, I'll be doing this for a long time if I don't truncate my trip. And so he had a conversation with her, and he said, Mother, he said, you go out every morning and you come back in the afternoon, and the place is filled with people who tomorrow morning may not even be here. How do you think that you're really going to be successful? And she said, oh, God didn't call me to be successful. He called me to be faithful. What a witness, huh? Just get out there and do God's work and be faithful, and God will take care of the rest of it. What a solace for people who are driven to results, right? It's not the result I'm looking for. It's what God wants.
That's just so beautiful, being faithful in the ordinariness of your life and allow God to do something extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you, Deacon Ray, for being with us here at the Ursuline Convent.
Absolutely.
It's been a phenomenal conversation.
It's been very pleasurable for me.
And for me, just sitting here in this beautiful place, you can really feel the communion of saints and the history, not only of New Orleans, but of our Catholic Church here in the French Quarter. So it's been a delight speaking with you today.
Thank you so much. If you listen very carefully and you stay quiet long enough, you'll hear the voice of our ancestors in your heart.